Hello, I'm Ian Guest. I'm head of marketing here at Modality Systems. I'm here today with Nick Seagrave, who is CTO here at Modality Systems. We're going to talk a little bit about our diagnostic service. So just going back again a little bit to the actual service itself, we're measuring, I think you said, that the quality of and the usage of conferencing and voice within a Skype for Business type environment.
Yep.
What makes the service different to others that's in the marketplace there?
Okay, well, one of the difference is we use what we call a static virtual user. It's putting a coded version of a Skype user, but on a machine that doesn't move. So when you put it in an office, it's not moving around to a different Wi-Fi. It's not going down to your local cafe for a Wi-Fi, getting poor performance out of that. It sits there and it makes calls, say every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day against that site. So this creates a mean score for us to evaluate it in our reporting against the user data that goes on top of it. So you might get lots of user data and lots of user data that comes in that may say, oh, these users are having bad audio, bad packet loss. But when you look into it, they were on a poor Wi-Fi, they were on their own 3G on their phone. It's too variable to really understand how that site is performing. But we put our static virtual users into that site, then we can actually look at how a site is performing on the infrastructure that an IT director owns. Not a lot of these other services which are variable in the user, which are, is nothing to do with that company's IT. So, yeah, sorry.
So what you're actually saying, you're saying users, so it's more than one, and it's obviously doing more calls than...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes. So typically in a company, so we've got one company that we've got about 150 of these static virtual users are placed around the world. And we'll have a global map in each country of how they're performing, and little green dots. And when they start going orange, people start looking into why that site is having a performance problem. You can go and compare it to user data and see if there's a difference. But if that static virtual user is having a problem, that site potentially is having a problem. So users' information on top of that is also going to start showing that. But we get insights into that before looking into a lot of variable data where you're not quite sure there's a problem. This gives you a bang in front of you, there's a problem, because it's static and we know it should be performing to a certain level. If it drops down, something has changed or something is going wrong in that site.
And there's, you alluded to earlier the fact there's other tools in the marketplace. We're coming into this, we've got the experience, the knowledge, the credibility and everything else around Skype for Business.
Yep.
What I hear a lot of is people have used various tools in the past, and for whatever reason they haven't quite seen the value from it. Why is ours different?
You're right, there are other tools that do similar services capabilities, but I think the real key one is the service layer that we add to this. So we have 10 years of experience of as OCS, Link and Skype as it is today, of installing these, of supporting these customers. So all that information is being fed up into people that can then interpret this data for you. Giving somebody a pane of glass tool that gives you the smoking gun completely of there's your problem, and I'll just alert you when you've got a problem is a very difficult thing to do, and I don't believe it really exists in the Skype business world. However, what we do with our data analysts is we look at that data and then we report back to the customer, actually looking at this piece of information here, this piece of information here. I think you've got a problem in this network. Trying to piece those together through a tool just on its own is a very difficult task to do.
So really it's the knowledge and the experience of the individuals to help interpret and bring the intelligence out of that data.
It really is. We've sat in workshops for days trying to work out whether we can do it in the tool, whether we can take that intelligence and put it into the tool, and it's very hard to do. We can present great information that can be presented to the senior exec of how we're performing, but if you want something that literally just goes up and says, oh, we've got a problem here, it's really happening, you need to jump on this, it's very hard to do in a tool set, unless it's real blatant, just everything's virtually broken, which is a different type of tool set than this is looking at. This is looking at trends and tweaks in performance rather than everything's broken, which people will know about anyway, which is what a lot of the other tools will do. Yes, they'll alert you that something's broken, and we have tool sets to do that as well, but this isn't really doing it.